Hey, what is up, guys? I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be comparing a cheap setup to an expensive setup. Now, the expensive setup is a setup that I'm using currently, which will run you about $960. Starting off with my Canon Rebel SL3, which is the most expensive thing, at $600, and then the Elgato Game Capture HD 60S, which is a 1080p 60 frame per second capture card to 720p 120 frames, and that runs you about $160. And then I have my Blue Yeti X microphone, which I'm currently using right now, which also I had to buy a boom arm and pop filter separately. Pop filter was probably about $10, boom arm was $20, and then the microphone was $140. So all that totals out to be $960 for this whole entire setup that I'm using right now. With the cheap setup, we have the Roxio Game Capture HD 60 Pro, which records 720p 60 frames per second or 1080p 30 frames per second. And then I have the Mano podcast condenser microphone, which actually comes with two different pop filters, a boom arm, and a shock mount for it, all for $50. The Roxio is $60, and the microphone is $50. And then my Logitech C922 ProStream webcam, which will run about $50 for a total of $160 for this whole entire setup. So we're going to start out with my setup that I'm using now, my expensive one with my camera and my new Yeti microphone and my Elgato Cam Link, or my Elgato Game Capture, which I'm going to be doing some gameplay on Battlefield 4 on my Xbox One, Minecraft, and probably Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, just to see the quality difference. It doesn't have to be any really new updated game. You can kind of see the difference between qualities, considering the Roxio is an older capture card. But let's get into it. Okay, one thing I failed to mention is that the Elgato will be in 1080p 60 FPS and the Roxio will be in 1080p 30 FPS. So if for those of you that are looking for 60 FPS gameplay and really don't want to have to downgrade to 30 FPS, I would go ahead and get the Elgato. Okay, guys, so starting out, we are going to do Minecraft, and then after Minecraft, we'll go over to probably Advanced Warfare, then finish up with Battlefield 4. I mentioned that my expensive setup is $960, and then the other setup, which is the Roxio and stuff, is the cheaper one at $160, which is a $800 difference. So as you guys watch this video and you look at the quality on like Minecraft and then the quality on these other games like these shooters and stuff, just keep in mind that like if the quality really isn't that much different, and especially the audio quality isn't going to be that much different, it really is worth just going at a cheaper option, especially if you are newer to YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, next we are going to go to Advanced Warfare. Alright guys, so now we are playing some Advanced Warfare. Showing you guys the quality with the Elgato in Advanced Warfare. Now I haven't played on console in a long time, so I could be very trash. But this is what the Elgato looks like with Advanced Warfare. I wanted to do a sort of shooter game because something like Minecraft is a really good comparison, but I feel like you can get a lot more out of doing a shooter. Okay guys, so now we are on Battlefield 4, 1080p 60 FPS. Just giving you guys a demonstration of what it looks like. At the end of the video, I will probably do a side-by-side comparison of both the Roxio and the Elgato, so you guys can get more of a visual view of the difference. Okay guys, so this is the Roxio 1080p 30 FPS with the Mano podcast microphone, and this is the Mano without any editing, and then this is the Mano with the audio edited. From now on, this is how I would usually record it. A few things I want to get into with this going into Minecraft now. Okay, first thing I wanted to point out to you guys is that with the Roxio, I guess it might be that it records in a lower frame rate, but with the Roxio, it only records in 15 megabits per second, and the Elgato actually records in 22 megabits per second, so the Elgato already records in a higher bit rate. And another thing is that with the Elgato, I use it in OBS, so using it in OBS, I can you know, adjust whatever I want. I can have my frame rate at whatever I want, do any of that with the OBS software. You guys, most of you probably use OBS, so you know how it works. But with the Roxio, you have to download the Roxio software to even use it. You can't even use it in OBS, and you can actually supposedly use it in OBS once you download the software. Because once you download the software, it gives you an option to use the Roxio at, you know, in OBS like you can with the Elgato or anything else like that. But whenever I selected it, it never popped up for me, so I'm having to use the Roxio software to record the Roxio, and then I'm using the Mano microphone in a separate track in Audacity because I wanted to edit the audio, and the webcam is being recorded in OBS, so I have 3 different recordings going on right now, which is insane. But that's one thing that you got to look at with the Roxio, and also the Roxio software is very glitchy sometimes. It doesn't seem to do it, especially on higher end setups, but with my old laptop that I used to use, which was not meant for any kind of gaming or anything like that. But I used to use a really old crappy laptop, and I could not record gameplay for anything on it. It would glitch up all the time. I'm just hoping that it's not glitching up right now. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that to you guys. You probably will have to record everything on separate tracks. It's going to be a bigger headache and stuff like that. But that'll probably about wrap up the video. They both pretty much have pros and cons to them. More cons with the Roxio and stuff like that. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this. If it did help you guys out and you like this setup, I would definitely go for it. If you want to go for a low end setup like something, the Roxio is pretty good, but the thing with the Roxio is that you have to use its software and you have to record everything on separate tracks, and it might be a little too much for some people who want to simplify things. So it might actually be better to go ahead and get the Elgato and then get something like the Mano mic, because the Mano mic is a beautiful $50 microphone, and then get the Logitech ProStream webcam that I have right here, which is $50. So then if you put the Elgato with the Logitech webcam and the Mano mic, you're sitting at about $220 ish. What, 50, that's 100 plus 160. That's what, about 310 or something like that. So it's still a lot cheaper option to do that than do what I have, or, you know, it's a lot better option than the $100 and something option. But I would definitely check that out, or maybe browse for some cheaper capture cards out there than the Roxio, because that's about the only thing that's kind of holding back this cheap setup is the Roxio capture card. Because the Logitech webcam is just fine whenever you're using, especially even if it doesn't look the greatest at full screen, it sits in your corner of your screen whenever you are making your video. So if it's sitting up there in the corner, you really won't be able to see any kind of quality loss. The only thing that kind of holds it back is the 30 frames per second, and a lot of people are okay with 30 FPS. And the Mano mic is beautiful for $50, especially with what you get with it. But I hope this helped you guys out, and maybe helped you with your purchase, and I will see you guys next time.